Everyone, I thought I would do a sort of overview of all my classic video games. That is to say, like everything from like 2 generations ago and older. We're gonna start back at the beginning here with the Atari 2600 games. I did a separate collection video on these last year. I don't believe I've acquired much more, if anything, since then. But nonetheless, it's going to be part of this video. I'll just go over these briefly. I've got about 43 of them, if I recall, 46, something like that. And then we'll go over NES and Genesis and whatnot. So in alphabetical order, I've got Air Raiders, I've got Astro Blast, I've got Berserk, I've got Cannon Bomber, I've got Challenge. This is fun. I don't believe this is licensed, or if it is, it's been redone, the logo, because it's got a Ghostbusters like sticker or something on there. I've got 2 copies of Combat. I think everybody has at least 1 copy. I've got 2 copies of Defender, just because one was in a lot I purchased. Some of the art for these old Atari games is really awesome. Look at that. Anyway, I got Dig Dug. It's a great one. Dolphin, Danky Kang. It's one of my favorites. Another Danky Kang, but in worse condition. So I had this and I bought this one because it was in better condition. It was only $1. E.T. I think we're all familiar with that. Freeway. This is a fun one. It's not much different than Frogger. We have actual Frogger. Frontline. It's another weird off-brand sticker. Ghostbusters. Oh, this one I didn't have last year. Ghostbusters for the Atari 2600. Nothing special here, to say the least. It's pretty forgettable. It's just like your logo. Imagine like the NES game, but less detailed. Kaboom. That's a classic. It's a personal favorite of many people's. By Activision. Unfortunately, these Activision stickers, they just don't last. It's too bad. It's really hard to find those old Activision games with good logos or good stickers. Missile Command, Mousetrap. This is a great one. I recommend Mousetrap. Night Driver, Ocean City Defender, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, which is a great game. A lot of people hate on the Atari Pac-Mans, but I really think they are fine. I actually have a review on this one. Miss Pac-Man's even better, though. Plaque Attack, Pressure Cooker, Radar. This is another one of those weird logos, or weird stickers. Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is a really interesting game, actually. Skyjinx. What is this? Sky Skippers or Sky Shippers or something. Slot Racers, Space Invaders, an all-time classic to be certain. Star Raiders, Street Racer, Solar Fox, Sword Quest, Earthworld, and Fireworld. There's a lot of really interesting history behind those games. I recommend you watch like a gaming historian video or an AVGN video on those, because those are really interesting. I've got Vanguard. Oh shit, not anymore. I've got Vanguard, which has a great logo. I believe Vanguard was the game featured in those old Atari commercials that are like, Luther destroys the god. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those. I recommend you go back and watch old Atari commercials and video game commercials and stuff like that, because they're a lot of fun. Yar's Revenge, one of my personal favorite games on the system. Programmed by the same guy who programmed E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark. to varying degrees of success. Typically, it takes 5 to 6 months, I believe, to program an Atari game. The person who programmed E.T., unfortunately, was only given 5 to 6 weeks. I believe it was 5. So obviously, that didn't turn out too well for him. I have a Game Genie down here. And this weird, I have this weird, off-brand knockoff compatible converter thingy from like Famicom. So I'm thinking theory I can play Famicom games on my my NES. Anyway, so here's my NES stuff. I don't have a ton of NES games, but I have a decent few. All my consoles, by the way, are original consoles. Like there's my NES and my N64. I've got two PS2s over there. There's my Atari. I do have the Atari Junior. I've got the Sega Genesis Model 2. But they're all like the actual consoles. None of them are emulators or anything like that. So, we have one of my personal favorite games on the console over here. Batman. Followed by Batman Returns, which is okay, but it's just like a really generic beat 'em up. That gets really boring. It does have art from the movie on the cover though, unlike the first one. Blades of Steel, which is a great game. Captain Skyhawk, which has an out-of-place manual, because I took out Double Dragon for a video. We have Double Dragon, Castlevania Simon's Quest. Man, what a time. What a tedious game. What a mess of a game. I think it's really fun, and I enjoy playing it, but my god, is that a tedious game. Super Contra, of course an all-time classic, hard as hell. I've never beaten it, even with the Konami code. Gauntlet 2, Guerrilla War, Gyrus, Iron Sword with like Conan the Barbarian on it. Mario Duck Hunt Kart, everybody has at least one of those. I used to have two. I gave the other one to a friend. Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, all of course classics. This is a Doki Doki Panic reskin, obviously. Mega Man 2, not nearly as hard as people say it is, but I totally recommend it. Metroid, it's another classic. I've never beaten Metroid, actually, just because it's such a long game. I'll get to it someday. NES Ultimate Tournament Golf, I don't care for it, honestly. I don't really care for sports games in general, but I like Blades of Steel. POW, Prisoners of War, by the same people who did Guerrilla War. You can see they have the same lines. RoboCop, there is some fun to be had with RoboCop, but it's, you know, it's messy and not very good. Rygar, great game. Tetris, need I say anything? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think everybody likes this game to some capacity. Like, it has a reputation because of that AVGN video for being not good. But even James Rolfe himself really likes the game. And it's not bad. It's, you know, it's got a lot of problems. It's got a lot of flaws. But, I like it. Total Recall. You know, just avoid that one, probably. Track and Field 2, again, like I said, I don't care for sports games. WrestleMania, this is not bad, I guess. I don't recommend it, but I don't dislike it either. It's fine. It's the first of its kind. Yoshi, this is a great puzzle game. I don't know why it has to bear the Yoshi name, but it's a great puzzle game. And I have this guy, which has like Ninja Gaiden and all that stuff on it. All of the Ninja Gaidens and just like 500 Famicom/NES games. This is a great cartridge if you want to try stuff out before you buy it. Like, I played Double Dragon on this before I bought it physically. But yeah, no, I recommend that. I mean, I recommend buying the games later on, probably, if you like them, but it's a great way to sample games, and, you know, Nintendo's not getting your money for these cartridges anymore anyway, so I don't suppose it matters much. Alright, I'll put that back up there. Oh, I got a bunch of DS games. I used to have more, not anymore. Moving on to N64, I don't have very many of these. I played the hell out of Super Mario 64, obviously, like everybody. I beat that several times. Bust-A-Move 99, you could play that in 30 minutes. Donkey Kong 64, It's a classic. F1 Grand Prix, World Grand Prix. That's actually a really fun racing game. Killer Instinct. It's a great game. Killer Instinct Gold. Super Mario 64, fantastic game. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, another fantastic game. Sorry if the camera's going out of focus. I'm not really looking at the viewfinder as much as I am the games. Here's my Genesis collection. I don't have a ton of them, but because I haven't had my Genesis very long. But there's some great stuff on here. Aladdin. This is a fantastic game with a fantastic soundtrack and fantastic visuals. It is one of the most visually creative games I own, and it's awesome. Batman Forever is garbage, just like the movie. Earthworm Jim. I don't think I need to say anything about this. This is an all-time classic. I have Sonic the Hedgehog, the original one. Golden Axe. Streets of Rage. Revenge of Shinobi. Columns and Super Hang-On. Mortal Kombat. Sonic 2. Spider-Man. This game's pretty trash. Maximum Carnage. Great beat 'em up. I love this game. And X-Men 2 Clone Wars, which is a fantastic game, and I totally recommend you play this. This is the best X-Men game of the 16 or 8-bit era without peer. It's really good. Next we have my Game Boy cartridges, my Game Boy Advance ones. Ultimate Spider-Man, this is really good. Side-scrolling platformer. Incredible Hulk. This is garbage. We have Spider-Man and Wolverine's Revenge, or Spider-Man Mysterio's Menace and Wolverine's Revenge. I haven't played Wolverine's Revenge or Spider-Man yet. Spider-Man 2. This is a good game with great, combat and everything, but it's really frustrating, and it's kind of like some of the stuff is poorly designed in it. Fantastic Four Flame On. This is, you're not gonna write home about it, but it's not bad. It's one of the only Fantastic Four games. So, the original Spider-Man movie game on the system. Spider-Man Mysterio's Menace again, which again I haven't gotten around to. And the most expensive game I have for the Game Boy Advance is Super Mario World, which is of course an all-time classic, and you should absolutely play it, either on Super Nintendo or Virtual Arcade or whatever it's called, or Game Boy Advance. It's really good, really good. That's my Game Boy Advance up there with a couple stray DS games. Those are the cases for Aladdin and Maximum Carnage. That's pretty much it, I think, So, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like the video. If you didn't, don't like the video. You're probably not watching if you didn't enjoy at least a little. Unless you've got it on in the background. Anyway, I'll shut up. Thanks for watching. Give me a subscription, if you will. I'll catch you guys later.